When medieval thinkers talked about the philosopher, they didn't even need to say his name. Everyone just knew.
And for Islamic scholars, he was the first teacher.
Right.
We are, of course, talking about Aristotle.
Right. But to really get him, you have to scrap this mental image of a guy in a toga just debating abstract ideas.
Totally. This is the person who literally built the foundational frameworks for, well, for almost everything. Logic, biology, ethics, politics.
He essentially wrote the operating system for Western thought. And the fascinating part is, he didn't do it from some ivory tower. His father was a physician.
And that's the key. That background gave him this, empirical mindset. He wasn't afraid to get his hands dirty.
So while his teacher, Plato, was sort of looking up at the world of perfect forms,
Aristotle was looking down.
Yeah.
At the ground, at the fish in the sea. He was, and you could really argue this, the first true scientist.
He spent time on the island of Lesbos, just dissecting things.
Over 500 different species. But he wasn't just cataloging. He made this crucial distinction between hoki,
the fact, the what.
Exactly. And diodi, the why. He didn't just want to know that fire is hot. He wanted to know why it burns. You have to look at the mechanism.
And some of his observations were just unbelievable for the time. I'm thinking of the dogfish.
Oh, the dogfish, yeah. He described the young growing inside the mother, attached by a placenta-like yolk sac.
Which people dismissed for centuries. They thought he just made it up.
They did, until, 19th century biologists with modern equipment looked and said, wait a minute, he was right. It all fed into his idea that nature does nothing in vain.
Okay, but if you're looking at 500 different animals, that's just a mountain of chaotic data. You need a system.
That's precisely it. And that's why he invented the organon, which just means the tool. You need a tool for thinking.
This is where we get formal logic, the syllogism.
Yep. If all men are mortal and Socrates is a man, then Socrates must be mortal. It sounds so basic to us now, but he was turning reasoning into a kind of formula, a way to guarantee truth.
And he used that same structured thinking to ask why things exist at all, the famous 4 causes.
Right. The classic example is always the statue.
Let's use that. So you have the material cause, the bronze.
Then the formal cause, which is the shape, the design, and the sculptor's head.
The efficient cause is the sculptor, the one actually doing the work.
And finally, the final cause, the telos.
The purpose, why it was made in the first place.
Exactly. And for Aristotle, everything has a telos. An acorn's telos is to become an oak tree. That potential is what drives it.
So what's the human telos? Is it just to be happy?
Well, that's the common translation of eudaimonia, but it's a bit misleading.
It's more than just a good mood, right?
Much more.
Sure.
Flourishing is a way better word. Think of a plant reaching its full potential, not just a person smiling. It's an activity of the soul living in accordance with virtue.
And how do you achieve that? How do you find virtue?
Through habit. And this is so important. He says, we become just by doing just acts. It's not a theory. And you find it through what he calls the golden mean.
The middle ground between 2 extremes.
Precisely. Courage, for example, isn't the opposite of cowardice. It's the mean. The deficiency is cowardice, but the excess is rashness.
And generosity is a mean between being stingy and just, throwing your money away.
Exactly. And that same idea of a stable middle applies to the state, too.
Because for him, we're political animals. A zoon politikon.
We can only truly flourish within a community, a polis. So he did what he always did. He gathered data. He studied 158 different constitutions.
And what did he find? What's the most stable political arrangement?
A polity. It's a state that's not dominated by the super rich or the super poor, but one that rests on a strong, stable middle class. That's the political golden mean.
It's amazing how his ideas just echo through everything.
The legacy is enormous, preserved by Islamic scholars like Avicenna, then fused with Christian theology by Aquinas. Modern virtue ethics is a direct revival of his work.
It really is everywhere. And I think we should leave you with that idea of habit. Aristotle says that excellence is not an act, but a habit. We are what we repeatedly do.
So the question to think about is, if you are what you do every day, what character are you right now in the process of building?